Okay, 10 minutes to go. I've got something a little bit different today from the normal live commented games that I like to do. This is really in response to one of my students, Matt, who said to me, "How do I handle the 3-3 invasion under the 4-4?" It was really pissing him off in lots of the games that he was playing, and I said I'd do a short tutorial video on that one. Now this is really for 30 to 20 players, relative beginners to the game, although since AlphaGo in 2016 this 3-3 under the 4-4 has become much more common, because traditionally people thought that actually if you invade 3-3 under the 4-4, the points that you get in the corner, the 8 to 10 points you get in the corner, are really compensated for by the thickness and the influence that your opponent gets on the outside. But AlphaGo came along and said, actually, no, those points are worth having, and there are ways to negate that influence. But here we're going to look at the really simple situation of what to do. What are your options if you're invaded 3-3 under the 4-4? So let's take a look. So here's a situation. I've simplified this down to a 13 by 13 board just so we can see very clearly what's going on. There's 4 stones on the 4-4 and black invades under the 4-4 stone at the 3-3 at C11. Okay, so white has got 2 responses. White has got this response to block in this direction, and white's got this response to block in this direction. And that's the first choice that you have to make as white. If it were me in this game, I would absolutely unhesitatingly block in this direction, because the stone at D4 almost provides an extension to those stones and actually gives me some really solid territory. If we go in the other direction, if we go in here, then what will happen is that black will slide out along here and we'll be left with a wall facing in this direction, but that's facing directly towards this black stone here, and so that influence is much less useful. So going back on all of that, our first question is, which way do we block? And that really depends on the local situation. You just have to look at the board and actually decide which way is best for you. So let's take this block that we've just spoken about. So white blocks in this way. What happens next? So black moves. Why does black do a no-bee at D11? Well, the reason is that if black doesn't play there, white will instantly turn at D11, knock out that black stone and take the corner and get the outside. White would come up. If black were to play, for example, this move, white would unhesitatingly take that, so that white has got the corner and the influence, and that's both. And actually we never really like to let our opponent have both when we're playing Go. We want to force an exchange on them. So black comes out, and that's the reason, that's the meaning behind the black move. And then we have 2 really quite simple alternate sequences. One is the white Hane. So white Hane is on the head, and I'm sure lots of you have heard the Go proverb, always Hane on the head of 2 stones. Black Hane is under, and if white wants the influence, white simply no-bees along the 3rd line, and then black no-bees, because obviously white turning at F12 would be very bad for black. It would Atari the E11 stone. So black comes, white comes one more time, and the reason for coming one more time is to protect the cutting point at E10, so that black can't cut there. Black then Hane's under, white Hane's threatening to capture the B10 stone by playing at B11, so black protects that, and now white has got a cutting point at C9, so white protects the cutting point, and that's the end of that Joseki. It's done, it's finished, there's nothing more to do in that. As you can see, white gets influence on the outside and black gets the corner. And in terms of points, black has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. And notice I'm not counting these 2 because we don't know what's going to happen with those. And white has got this influence that's actually radiating out along this direction, and actually a reasonable amount of compensation potentially in territory there. So that's our exchange, that's what we're going for. So let's just go through that sequence of moves again. So white blocks, black extends to stop being folded round, white Hane's, black Hane's, white extends, black extends, white extends to stop the cutting point. Why does that stop the cutting point? Because if black were to cut now, white extends, black comes, and then white catches those two stones in a net. There's nothing black can do. Black, white, dead. So the three in a row is a very important maneuver. This 1, 2, 3 in that direction to stop you being cut. It protects the cutting point at E10. So after that, black would hane. Let's go to the other one. Black hanes to try and get around the outside of white's wall. White blocks. We can hope you can all see that if black doesn't defend immediately, it'd be 11, he'll lose the stone. So black backs off and connects, and white makes that move there, and that's where we get the point exchange. What about the other direction? What happens if we move in the other direction? Let's just go back to our decision point here. We were here, and so actually white can block in this direction, and we get a very similar exchange. We get this move, white hane, black extends, white extends, black extends, white extends, black hane, white hane, black connects, white connects. And now we can see the difference. The difference is, once more, black has got the points in the corner, these 10 points or so, 6, 8, 9, 10. And white's got the influence, but the influence in this case from here and from here and in this direction are now facing off against black stones. And so this is much less valuable, because influence is valuable if we can turn it into something. And actually black's two triangled stones there are actually damaging the potential of that influence. And as an exchange for white, that's the wrong direction of play. And that's the kind of thing that we're looking for when we're looking for direction of play exchanges. So I'm just going to come back to this point here and go to here, because there's one other move. Let's just go back so we remember where we were. A, B, black plays, white plays B, black comes out, stop being folded round, white hanes and black hanes, and white has at this point the choice to make an alternate move, and the alternate move that white can make is what we call the double hane. So instead of extending like this, white double hanes. This leaves cutting points, but they're deliberate cutting points by white. So what we would expect to see here is black to cut and white to connect to save the stone. Then if black connects back like this, white can catch the stones in a ladder. And in this case, the ladder is bad for white because of the black stone on K4. But if this was a white stone, this would be an excellent ladder. And I hope you can see this would be an excellent exchange for white. In this case, the ladder's bad, and so this is not a good exchange for black. So here, normally, we would expect black to Atari on the outside. After these exchanges, black Atari's here, white connects, black Atari's on the outside, white Atari's on the inside, threatening to kill everything. Black takes the stone and gets a ponuki. A ponuki is a flower shape, it's a very strong shape, and white takes the corner. If black tries to run in the corner, white comes on the inside first, and that's a very important move. If you come from the outside, then you'll lose the two stones. So white comes from the inside, black extends, and white blocks. And now the black stones are dead. So in this exchange, white gets a big corner because there's 2, 4, 6, 8 prisoners, 10, 12, 14, about a 15-point corner, and actually quite nice shape in terms of this wall moving down to here. But equally, black gets this very strong shape that's working very nicely with his corner. And so who is that exchange better for? I think it's better for black, and the reason I think it's better for black is a matter of sente, because notice how after these exchanges white has to block. Black has a sente, and black could do something like this, which would clearly put black ahead on the board. So let's just run through that sequence again. So the sequence is, after this move, rather than extending, as we've just seen at F11, white double hanes, expecting the cut, and gives black a ponuki. Black cuts, white connects, black Ataris, white Ataris, black takes, white takes the corner. And the two stones actually don't need to run. It would be foolish of black just to play that out. Black actually should play something like this immediately. So that's it, folks. That's the major moves in the corner. That's the stuff around the 3-3. There are some more advanced moves. I don't want to do them now, but as a beginner, as a 20 to 30 Q, all you've got to look at is, I've just been invaded under the 3-3, under the 4-4, which direction I want to block, and do I want to play to take the corner. So we choose a direction of block, we come out like this, we come like this. If we want to play for influence, we keep going, extend for 3, as we've discussed, hane, 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 ends in gote, so it's sente for black. If we want to take the corner, we can, but it means that we have to do this double hane, black cuts, we connect, black takes on the outside, we take on the inside, we take the corner, and black once again gets sente. Okay, that'll do for now. I want to keep this short and tight. Those are the moves in the corner. I hope that's helpful. I hope you can put those to work in your games and practice those moves on the board and have fun. That's it from 10 minutes to go. Enjoy your games and see you soon. Bye for now.